what about all others? You are able to see all the others?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
You can see.
okay, ma'am. Yeah, so I'm really very sorry, first of all, to disturb you on a Sunday. I thought I can give you a small test for today because most of you will have some time. It's not going to take much time because we have to take this test, anyway, today or tomorrow. Anyhow, we have to take this test because I wanted to conduct a pre-test to ensure where you guys stand. Okay, before we get into the training stuff. So this test will act as a pre-test, and it will tell you, at which level you are. Now, basically, at the international standards, we have a lot of organizations that follows what we call as common European framework for preference. Okay, this is a kind of measuring of the standard in terms of language. So across the globe, many institutions, education institutions, as well as organizations for workplace, they have this measure to ensure that the candidates that they are hiring are of a particular standard. Okay, in India, though we have this, not many institutions or organizations really stress on this unless they go to some language proficiency test. Today I'm going to show you a chart which will give you an idea about what should I say, like what are the language standards that we have currently and how we should uh, get into it. Okay, so we just have that. Not going to take much time, but something quite important. So yeah, I hope you're able to see this chart. Basically, it's designed by Cambridge, and we have a separate division of Cambridge University called Cambridge Language Assessment. So they are normally in charge of all the language quality and assessments, exams, whatever it is. When it comes to language, Cambridge is an authority. Okay? So both Oxford and Cambridge, they are very ancient universities, and they have set the foundation for English language. So basically, Cambridge, they suggest something called as, you'll be able to see it here, it's called as Common European Conference. Okay, something called as CEFR. Now, this is very important, and we can call it as a scale to measure your language level. Okay, and there are many schools which give more importance to this. Some people, even after coming to college, we are not aware about this, but there are certain schools that stress on this, and at a very early stage, students come to know about these levels. Okay, so the test that I'm going to give you is conducted by a different organization. It's not part of it, but then that is a kind of test. It's a 1 hour test. Okay, it's called as English First um, test. Okay, so that test is quite related to the chart. So if you are able to take that test, you will not maybe possibly undergo all the 4 modules like listening, speaking, reading, and writing. But I think they test you on certain modules, any 2 modules there. So if you are able to do the questions well and answer them completely, then I think you'll be able to locate your level. Now you see on your left side here, you see some scale. Okay. Now here you see it starts with pre-level, that is A1. So that is the most fundamental, the most basic level of English that one person can start with. Okay, so it starts with A1 and then slowly progresses to A2. Okay, so A1 is for a primary level, or sometimes it can, there are students who are at the secondary level but still not able to speak well or communicate well. So when I mean communication, I'm telling you about all the courses. Okay, so even at the secondary level, they may not be able to express themselves well when it comes to that. Okay, so they may be in A2 or say in A1 level, but A1 level is very very basic. Okay, nobody at this level would be at that level. Okay? So See, from A1 to A2, it's called as basic level. This is what you understand. So it means that if some learner is at the A2 level or A1 level, it means they are not good at it. They are very average. They are not able to they are not able to understand much. They are not able to do anything where language is important. Okay, they are not able. So that's called as the basic level. And once a learner tries to go beyond the basic level, then if he reaches the B level, that is B1 and B2, it means he is a kind of independent communicator. So he doesn't depend much on others because he can understand whatever the speaker says, or is able to react or respond to whatever the speaker says, all on his own without depending on. So that means B1 and B2 is quite better than the A level. Okay? And most of them are somewhere around B1 and B2. See, I'm not talking here about students who have, studied in better schools and who have improved your language to a better extent. Okay, I'm talking about the majority of the crowd uh, who may feel difficult to express them. So they may be at B1 and B2 level. Okay, so if you look at the right side, you have schools, and then you have something called as higher education. So they have given you the schools. It starts from A1 level. They are starters, and then we have something called as movers, and then slowly flyers. Okay, they divide them into that. Flyers means they are ready to go to the next level. They are confident enough to speak at any given situation. Now that they are progressing to the next level, that is how they categorize them in national schools. Okay. Now, but if you look at the higher education level, there's nothing for say A1, okay, because nobody without the basic or fundamental knowledge of English uh, can be at the higher education level. So if it means that you are in an higher education institute, you are above A1 and definitely A2 because that's too basic. Okay, so we have something called as A2 where the higher education institutes start their level, and then comes B. Okay, then B1 and B2. I told you that B1 B2 is where many college going students will be. Okay, their level will be at this level. Okay, and then comes the final one, which is called as C1 and C2. Okay, C1 and C2. That is, C1 is kind of you are at an advanced level in English, and C2 means that you are very proficient. That is what. So, I hope that all of you must be at this gap. Either C1, C2 is kind of proficiency level. That means you are close to near native level speakers. You're able to manage any kind of communication, no matter whether it's in a group or in a crowd or say in an auditorium. You are comfortable enough to speak to anybody at any time, in as much as clarity as possible. So that is C2 level, and it's very difficult to go to the C2 level. But for some students, they would innately be, that is, they'll be very very expressive. They'll be very confident enough. Their verbal, non-verbal skills will be at par with the native speakers. So they can easily go to the C2. But there are others who are at the B level and they want to improve their level to C1 or C. That is also possible. So anybody who is in a B level can easily go to C1 and C2 if you are able to practice well and if you are able to do things. Practicing means not just speaking; it means even writing. Okay, your listening skill should be very strong. You should have a reading habit. Only then everything will contribute to your career. So that is what I'm trying to say. So if you look at the left side, you have basic, independent, and pro level. So I would suggest that all of you, by the time you come to your refined year at least, you guys have to be in the C1 level. C2 is possible, but not everybody can be at C2 level. So either you are in the C1 or in the C2 level will be very good. So we call it as C1 advanced and C2 proficiency or okay. So this is with respect to both schools and higher education. That means college. See, even for business, they give you a criteria. Okay, so the Cambridge University has set a criteria for people uh, who should go into business. Okay, see, they are suggesting three things. That is B1, B2, and C1. C2 is not required, okay, for business. But if you're very good at presentation skills, if you're very good at negotiation skills, if you're very good at convincing your clients, and if you're at a C2 level, that is well and good. But the minimum level that they are expecting a business owner is he should be around B1, B2, and C1. That's the minimum. C2 is not mandatory. But if there are people who are at that level, C2, well and good. So for even business, we have language requirements. Now, this is with respect to the English qualification. There are tons of other exams that Cambridge offers, and you know that every exam that we are writing as part of IELTS or TOEFL, say BEC exam, business certificate, and then we have something called as CELTA. After that, we have something called as Delta. These are for language related people. Okay, I can go for a Celta or I can go for a Delta, and anybody, anybody around the world can go to these courses and complete these courses. And these courses are very expensive. So, see, imagine if I'm doing my Celta course and I clear it. It's hardly a 3 weeks or say like 2 months course, not even 2 months, lesser than that. So if I complete my Celta certification, it means that I become eligible to teach English anywhere around the world, in any university around the world. Nobody is going to question my proficiency level in English if I show that Cambridge CELTA certificate. And after CELTA, we have one more certification. It's called as Delta. So that is again a 3 weeks course which we have to take full time. And again, it's the same, but it's very difficult to clear CELTA and Delta. And it's especially meant for people who are planning to go abroad, and especially for the teaching profession, okay, or wherever English is required. For example, journalism or mass media, people who are getting into language related professions, they can go for that certification. And I think it costs close to 2 lakhs per course. That is how it is. But it's not mandatory for anyone else. Okay. So, but engineers normally we suggest going for business English certificate. But the problem is like every college tells students to go for BEC certificate, and whoever goes and registers, they will clear it somehow. Even if they are not good in English, even if they are, not strong in English, even if they don't study well, they ultimately get a certificate which is meaningless. Okay? But if you are thinking of taking it, and if you're working hard for it, and if you're getting a very good score, then that means that certificate is going to help you a lot because it is all about business community. So if you have an idea to get into the field of business, then you can go for certificate. Okay? If you look on the right side, we have certain tests like LinguaSkill and IELTS. LinguaSkills is a kind of new test. Okay, it's again a language proficiency test, but it's not as popular as IELTS and TOEFL. Okay, these tests like IELTS and TOEFL are there for very long time, and these are accredited tests. Okay, but LinguaSkills is just new, and there are other lot of new tests coming up day by day. Okay, let's not focus on LinguaSkill right now. So we'll focus only on IELTS and TOEFL. So if you look at the IELTS, you see they expect you to have a score above 4, but universities normally accept a score above 6. Okay, if you're going for higher education, you need to have a score beyond 6 because only that will help. And you should also see that the highest one can get is 8.5. But IELTS is for 9 band, but the highest that will be awarded is 8.5. Okay. So why I'm talking about this chart for IELTS and TOEFL, even for that, this chart is going, because they're going to evaluate your level. They're going to, the examiner will be, after all the evaluation of your performance in the listening, speaking, reading, writing, will be able to tell you at which level you are. They won't directly tell you, but then they'll be able to find out. So again, I'm telling you the band score for IELTS and TOEFL, it completely depends on the universities that you are applying for and the countries that you're going for. There are certain universities that accept for 6 or 6.5. There are certain universities that demand for more than 7 or 7.5. So that depends on the organization. Same thing for TOEFL. For TOEFL, you have right. So all you have to do is just go to like IELTS comparison, get some chart. Okay. So yeah, this chart. So you're able to see this chart. See. So uh, I starts with 0 and TOEFL again starts with 0. Okay, so if you're between 0 to 4 band in IELTS, it means you have a score of 0 to 30. So only a comparison chart. Okay, so to understand how the scores are, and let's not look at all these. We go beyond, say, 6.5. I want you guys to go for 8. Okay, that is what I'm expecting. You people should get 8 somehow. Um, okay, so anything above 6.5 is, I think, acceptable in universities. But then if you have a good band score, it's always worth it. So try to aim for 8. And this 9, it's very difficult to get. People usually do not award 9. So 8 or 8.5 is possible. Okay, it's possible. So you can always have this chart and get an idea about it. Okay, so those students who are interested in going for IELTS and TOEFL, I think you guys have to look at these charts to understand how the scoring system works. And all these things I posted in the PDP group. So there. And I show you one of my students who went for I think IELTS a year ago. He got a score like this. I don't know whether I have that score here or not, but that just to give you an idea about how she has scored. We're all able to uh, see the screen. I don't remember where I was reading about, right? It's not there. So I don't know. Yeah, it's not that, but anyway. Yeah. So what I want to tell you is this: a very simple thing. Whenever you want to uh, uh, study for IELTS program, it's important that you prepare for all four modules, and you should know that every module will be evaluated for the nine band. Okay, listening they will evaluate for the nine band, reading similarly speaking and writing. So only when your average is above, uh, you know, like your average of every module should be above 6.5. So only if you get an average score of say 7.58, then 7.5 or 8, and then 8, then your total score will be 8. You understand? Even if your module score is less for one module, then your total score for that will be lesser than. So that is how it is evaluated. They don't, put a overall score. They give a overall score based on each module score, and only then you will be able to get more than 8. So that means you guys have to focus more on each module. Okay, and for every module you have to plan for 8 and above. Okay, that is the concept. So this is one thing that I want to tell you. That I will close this and so is it visible here? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Visible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So if you look at this website, you should note down this link because this website will be useful for you for the rest of the 4 years. And you can take this test as many times as possible, and it's free of cost. But I would suggest you to take it once right now, and in your next year once, and when you come to the pre-final year, take it once, so that you will know your growth every year. Okay, and it's free of cost. I don't know how long this website is going to exist, but then as long as it is there, you guys can take the test for free. So it's normally considered to be a standardized test in English, and it's completely online. They provide you a free certification I mean, a free certification in the PDF format, which you can download, and then you can post it on your LinkedIn profile, or you can add it as part of your resume. You can do whatever you want, right? But it's a very valid because this is a very good age. And you come down, you have two tests here. I would suggest you to take two tests, but for this first 15-minute test, you will not get any certificate. Okay, so this is only to check your fundamental English. So you don't get a certificate for this, but for this, you get a certificate. Okay, if you're able to clear, you will get a certificate. So we'll focus on school. Okay. See, take the EF set and get your EF certificate in no most. So there is no cost, and you don't have any other problem, and you can add it to your profile. And they are assessing, I told you, they are assessing only on reading and listening. And the score is based on your receptive skills. I told you, reading and listening are receptive skills. Only if these skills are very strong, your productive skills will be very high. I told you this. So they are testing on the receptive skills. All you have to do is just sign up and start taking the test. Once you take the test, I think you will make sure your internet connection is strong. And then for that next 1 hour, please don't allow anybody to trouble you, and make sure that nobody calls you. So do that, and then once you do it, you can download the certificate, and the certificate will be there in your account login. But I would suggest you to download it and keep it as a PDF, because if the website is not going to exist anymore after some time, then you will not lose access to the certificate. It's always better that you download it. Okay? So those people who are interested in TOEFL, IELTS, or any other Cambridge exams, um, this test will be useful for them. But I'm suggesting this for everybody who wants to know where you are at the level. So for this, you have to take. So that's it with this. So again, they'll be explaining about, you want to read about the different kinds of levels. Uh, Here you can, for example, you go to C2, then you'll be able to, they'll be able to tell you like what C2 means and how it, how it's considered to. I told you C2 is the highest level of language. And here you see there are so many other tests there. Say EFSET is one, IELTS is one. So there is a test called a STOEIC and Cambridge English Scale, TOEFL IB, and then we have Fluent Scale. That is given by yourself. But some are paid tests, okay? So we can't go for every. And they're giving a complete explanation on what every level is. So I think all of you have to just read through this website. So once you do, then you can download the certificate, no matter where your level is. Okay, I want you to take this test only once. Don't go for multiple attempts. It's not useful. Okay, one time you take it seriously and do it, and then you go for it after say at least 1 year, so that by 1 year time you'll be doing a lot of work and you'll be enhancing your communication. And then we'll check again like how the score is. So let's see like what score. So you guys have any other doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay. So the note down the link here. It's given here. Sorry. Yeah, this is the test. Okay, 50-minute test. efset.org. You just go to efset.org. This one. Post it. You can also send this link to any number of students. Your friends in our college, because it's a free test. So whoever is interested, they can take it up. But it requires 1 hour time. You guys have to sit for 1 hour and take it, and you can take it at your convenient time. Okay? And make sure you send your certificate. That's it for today. Any doubts regarding the CPR level DR? Okay, then I think everything is good to go, and you guys can take it and let me know and send your certificate. You can put it on WhatsApp also, a screenshot of the certificate, so that other people will be inspired to take this. Okay, dear. So I think we'll wind up. Thank you all for coming. And whatever doubts you have, you can post on WhatsApp and try to answer them. Yeah. Thank you, dear. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank